Have you ever found a chord that you really love, but you didn't figure out the kind of stuff you can play over it? You can play the chord, but you're not sure what to solo over. Well, a great place to start is by recognizing the arpeggio that is associated to that chord, giving you options for melodies that you can later use for your improvisation, as well as embellishing those arpeggios to create some cool bebop, jazz, modern, fusion, whatever language. Well, let's say you're playing this Hendrix chord, and you want to figure out the types of melodies that can represent that specific voicing. Any chord you learn. First thing is be able to say out the notes and spell them. So you have E as the root, G sharp is going to be the third, D is going to be the flat 7 of that dominant chord, and then you have a double sharp. Well, basically that F double sharp is basically G, and that's going to give us the sharp 9. So now if we want to talk about how to recognize the arpeggio, we need to be able to put these notes into 1 octave range. So the 1 octave range of that would give us E, then F double sharp or G, basically sharp 9. G would be the sharp 9, then we have G sharp is the major third, and only then we have the flat 7. So we're keeping our notes within 1 octave range, thus we're achieving the arpeggio, and we get this sound over the chord. If I can play this an octave up and then connect both, I got my arpeggio in 2 octaves, and it sounds like this. Now, what I want to do, I want to be able to look for those notes over different types of situations, like maybe playing it over here. Or maybe trying to figure it out on one string. For example, this E string, right? So I can see over here that I have the 7, then the root, the sharp 9 into the third, and then I have another tritone to jump all the way back to D. A good thing to do is, while practicing that arpeggio, say out the harmonic numbers. 7 root, sharp 9, 3, 7 root, sharp 9. Let's try that on the high E string, for example. Root, sharp 9, third, 7, root, sharp 9, third, 7. Now I can also try and limit myself to be able to play those notes in different positions, starting from different chord tones. So for example, if I stay within this open position with the low E string, I can do this. Low E is the root, sharp 9, third, jumping into a tritone above for the flat 7, root, sharp 9, open string, third, then we have the flat 7, root, sharp 9, third. Now let's play it from the sharp 9. So I have a sharp 9, third, 7, root, sharp 9, third, 7. I'm going to jump a string, root, sharp 9, third. And of course I can do that from the third and the 7 as well. So now let's take another chord. Let's take this C minor major 7 chord, for example. Let's do the same process. I can see the root, the 5, the major 7, and this E flat is the third. So I have C, root, G is the 5, B natural is the major 7, and our minor third quality is from this E flat. So let's take those notes and put them linearly together. Instead of having that jump into E flat, I'm going to have C, E flat, G, and B. So here's my arpeggio. And of course you can do that with any chord you learn. And by the way, you can also do it the other way around. So you can figure out an arpeggio that you don't know the chord voicing to, then you can take the second note and put it up an octave, and then you get your chord voicing. In guitar, usually the easiest way to play chords, or the more efficient way to play chords, is by taking the second note and putting it up an octave. And those have different names. We're not going to get them into them in this video, but just know that it's way easier to play open voicings on guitar than it is usually to play closed voicing, because of the kind of stretches you have to do when stacking thirds within chords. Now, a good thing to think about is that basically harmony and melody are the same thing, just in different states. You can think about harmony as frozen melody, or the other way around. Melody is basically liquid harmony. So whenever you hear a chord, be able to sing the arpeggio, because that's how you're intuitively going to approach playing the types of melodies that serve that harmony. And then your improvisations will be much more melodic and will make much more sense. So it's more than just practicing chords and arpeggios, it's also about ear training and developing your ability to hear different colors and sounds and tonalities and tones over different chords and chord progressions. Let's get back into the practice. So we had the C minor major 7, right? So now what I want to be able to do after I figure out the arpeggio notes, I want to be able to play that on one string as well as on different octaves, and of course within one position. So here is the notes on one string. I have C, E flat, then I have G, which is the 5th, and then I have the major 7. So I can see the different intervals and visualize them. I have a minor third over here, and then I have a jump of a major third into my G. Major third meaning 2 tones, and then I have another major third over here to get to my major 7, the B. So I have root, third, flat third, then I have G, which is the 5, natural 5, and B, which is the major 7. So you can play that, of course, on any string. Let's play on this B string, for example. And you can start also playing it within different octaves or different sets of strings. So here it is on this set of string. Here it is over here. And here it is over here. Same exact notes. I'm just figuring out different ways to play them. Then you can start playing this arpeggio within a certain position. So for example, let's start from G. That's our 5, right? And just build a position using that arpeggio we figured out. So I have 5, major 7, root, flat 3. Here's our 5 again, within the position. Major 7, root, flat 3, 5, major 7, right? Then I can do the same thing maybe from the root. Here's the root, flat 3, 5, major 7, root, flat 3, 5, major 7, root, flat 3. I can do the same thing from the major 7, also from the flat third as well. So this is something that you can do to figure out any arpeggio, and as I mentioned, also vice versa, figure out chords if you know the notes of a certain arpeggio. This process is really easy to do. As I mentioned, the first thing you do is you play the chords and you say out or write down the notes. Then what you do is you figure out how you can play these sets of notes within one octave range. Then you look for those notes on maybe one string or two strings, and you start moving those sets of notes on different parts of the guitar. That can be maybe on two strings, on this octave. As I demonstrated, you can play that over here and over there and vice versa. And then when you really want to dive deeper into these kind of stuff, you start making sure that you can play those sets of notes within a certain area on the guitar, building different positions. So you're kind of committing to a position, maybe this area, not more than 5 or 6 frets that you're going to be able to play those notes. Now this will straight away develop your ears and your ability to visualize arpeggios, harmony, melody on the guitar. And of course, when the time comes and you need to improvise over different chords, they will start being there for you to create melodies with. In my Galactic Modern Guitar course, I dive really deep into all the types of arpeggios, scales, how to connect everything, triads, chromatics, all these cool stuff. Something that I really wish I had when I was learning these types of stuff, and how to visualize the fretboard and be very aware of everything when it comes to harmony and melody on the fretboard and the guitar neck. And you can check that out in the link in the description. I hope you enjoyed this video. I put a new video every week on this channel, so please make sure to subscribe. Also support this video by liking and dropping me a comment. If you have any questions, I always like to chat with you guys in the comments below. That's it for today, and I'll see you in the next video.